If you look at my political beliefs and value systems, you'd realize that I'm fairly liberal, at least in the classical liberal sense derived from the Enlightenment and Napoleonic eras. I believe in the freedom of speech and expression. I believe in the separation of church and state. I'm also pretty anti-war. Unlike a lot of my coworkers here at the Rebel.media, I've always been against our military involvement in the Middle East. And yet, even though we largely agree on those issues, I would still never call myself a liberal in today's new leftism. So what the hell happened to the left? Why did they lose so many people like me? I'm Jay Feza from the Rebel.media, and let me explain to you why the left is losing the wider society and the intellectual debate, bit by bit, on a number of core issues and beliefs that for the most part was a deal breaker. It used to be a stereotype that the right is full of people who are anti-science, but lately the left has shown themselves to be anti-science too. They're anti-science on human biology. They think gender, even sometimes sex, are merely social constructs, not distinct realities. They believe that there are an uncountable number of genders, that if you think or feel you are something, then you are it, even if the evidence points the other way. They also dislike GMOs. They are against nuclear technology, even though it's a cost-effective, sustainable energy resource. Some pro-choice liberals argue that human fetuses or embryos are somehow not human. And some of them are even against medical advancements and medical progress in the realm of vaccines. Even after all that, though, what really made the left lose the wider society and the intellectual debate isn't their anti-science position, but their constant need to make everything about identity politics. And therein lies the downfall of genuine liberalism in the Western world. Identity politics is the idea that each and every single political issue is rooted in personal and physical identity. According to identity politics, every time the right disagrees with the left doesn't just think they're disagreeing with them on ideas alone. The left also thinks that the right is disagreeing with who they are as a person, their entire identity. That's why politics in general has become more polarized in the Western world. Every idea that goes against leftist belief isn't just about a disagreement of ideas. It's also racist, sexist, homophobic, and so on. When you make politics more than just a disagreement of ideas, you can get into dangerous territories. The most pernicious system of thought, I believe, is a system of thought that convinces people they are a victim and their perpetrator is their next-door neighbor. And to be frank, that is a system of thought the left has been endorsing for the last 40 years. The left, through feminism, tells women that men have oppressed them, that men are the enemy, and that women need to overthrow the work and deeds of men. That's why we see everything from the Scum Manifesto to Gamergate and manspreading. It all comes from an irrational hatred of men that the left has created. The left, through Black Lives Matter, tells blacks that police officers have oppressed them, so blacks need to hate cops more, and they need to be more violent in order to combat them. That's why we see riots every time a black person dies. No questions, no investigations, riot, even if it's unjustified, even if the cop's life was in danger, and even if the cop killed a real criminal. It's identity politics that ruin the left. We've seen this on Occupy Wall Street, where instead of it being about the people against the corruption of the rich, which is great, it became about hating white men by introducing concepts like the progressive stack. We've seen this in the Democratic Party, where instead of talking about the issues affecting all Americans, Hillary Clinton ran on the empty message of togetherness and love. And lastly, we've seen this in academia, places where they've taught millions and millions of people to hate the pillars of civilization. The leftist academics teach students to hate religion, hate capitalism, hate our shared sense of history, basically hate and dismantle everything that wasn't created by them. And why do they do this? Well, that's the million-dollar question. What the hell happened to the left? I'm Jay Feza from the Rebel.media. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the Rebel.media.